Hi everyone, Keith Wilson here, spreading a wealth of information. When it comes to retirement, one of the biggest concerns people have when they retire, this big question, are you going to outlive your money? And how much can you withdraw from your portfolio that would, give you a pretty good chance that that portfolio is going to last as long as you do? Now, there's lots of rules of thumbs out there, and one of them is called the 4% rule. Now, this rule was invented many years ago by William Bengen, and it states that if you withdraw 4% of your portfolio that was invested 50% stocks, 50% bonds, and then you adjust that withdrawal for inflation each year, then you have a high degree of success that your portfolio would last at least 30 years or even more. So what happened, Mr. Bengen looked at really historic returns of a 50-50 mix like we talked about in any 30-year rolling period. And he came up with a solution of, hey, you can withdraw 4% and safely make it. So a lot of advisors over the years jumped on that, and it made it very simple to explain. So it works like this. So if you had $1 million, according to this study, you could withdraw $40,000 a year and then adjust that for inflation, and that portfolio would last at least 30 years. And again, this changed the financial services industry. Many advisors just went in with this because, again, it was simple and it's easy to explain to the client. However, not too long ago, 2006, he raised this calculation to 4.5% withdrawal rate. And even in a recent podcast, he stated his original findings on this 4% rule was based on the absolute worst case scenario for someone to retire at the worst moment. For example, he looked at a time period in October 1968. And at that time, the markets were peaking and super high inflation was starting. And I think it lasted 14 years. So when it comes to having a fixed withdrawal rate, say the 4% rule, I believe it's outdated. And this is why. Well, first of all, I find that not everybody's going to strictly follow this rule. And those that do, they may find that withdrawals are not enough for them to, enjoy their retirement. Sure, they can, pay their bills each month and go out to eat every once in a while, but maybe they have to forget about trips and other expenditures. Here's another study that Michael Kitces did. He showed a 60-40 portfolio, and he went way back longer in history and looked at a balance of $1 million, and that took that 4% out, only to find that in the end, there was a huge bloated portfolio. So if you strictly followed this 4% rule, it may, make your lifestyle a little bit different. You might have a bloated portfolio at the end and your beneficiaries are going to be happy, but maybe you want to, enjoy your portfolio when you retire. So I believe that when somebody retires, they're really going through three phases in retirement. Your first several years of retirement, you're most likely going to be, that's when you're going to be most active. And you're going to go on trips and cruises and hobbies, and you're really going to enjoy yourself, and it's going to take money to accomplish those goals. So depending on your retirement savings, this could take more than 4% of the portfolio. So perhaps 5% withdrawal rate in those early years. Now, in the second phase of retirement, what I find when retirees they're getting in their mid-70s, things start to slow down a little bit, and you're not going on as many trips or cruises, and your activity dwindles. Maybe, a trip once or twice a year, but nowhere near as much as you were in that first phase. Now, the last phase, that's where all these activities are coming to a screeching halt. And you're looking back and you say, really, I enjoyed the last 20 years of my retirement. In this phase, you're not spending nearly as much, other than perhaps healthcare costs. So during retirement, I have found by working with clients, Withdrawal rates are going to be different. They're going to differ during each phase of your retirement. I would look at these withdrawal rates as more dynamic and not fixed to coincide with your lifestyle. Now, obviously, you got to be careful about the amounts you withdraw in order to sustain that portfolio. So what I do for my clients is I'm going to run many different scenarios. I'm going to stress test the portfolio to come at that proper withdrawal rate. At the very least, the 4% withdrawal rate, that's just going to give you some type of guideline, but every retirement is going to be different, and that is why I think we're going to have to take more of an active management approach in retirement, and it's going to be more specific to each person's situation, and that will help you work towards reaching your goal. So in the end, 4% rule, yes, it's not flawed, it's just outdated because it was based on time periods of super high inflation. Hey, if you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. I would really appreciate it. Thanks, and remember to be wise with your money.